You're watching a Famicast video review of Giana Sister's Twisted Dreams Ultimate Edition. My name is James Charlton and I am the reviewer of this game. So as a brand new player to the Giana Sisters series, this is a lot of content to be suddenly shown from the start. So for example, if I go to extras here, there are tons of extra content things, contract packs to play before you've even started the game. They're all unlocked, they're all available. And these are the difficulty settings: normal, hard, score attack, time attack, hardcore, uber hardcore. And these are obviously locked. If you go to normal, you can actually choose any of the 5 chapters immediately. So for example, if I want to go to the 4th chapter, I can go into 4.1 immediately. So yeah, I guess the layout or how you access the levels is not really something to my liking. I don't really like being able to see everything right at the front, right at the start. It kind of makes it look like I'm kind of delving into something that's like, already, it's already unlocked everything kind of thing. I prefer like a world map or something like that and go stage by stage. But there you have it. I was going to jump into a relatively early stage. Quick note on the load times: they are quite long. I didn't show the initial load, which was quite long, but this is the load screen for the world map. So I'll just jump into 1.4. This is a load screen, quite a nice looking load screen. So the hook with this game is that you can actually switch between 2 worlds, like a light world and a dark world, at any time. You can see a lot of the moves that you do in the game here in this loading screen. There we go. So as you can see, the graphics are very sharp and nothing to complain about, but also at the same time you might argue it's a little bit generic. I'll flick between the 2 worlds with the hit of the trigger, dark and light. I can do a spin jump, which automatically changes it to the dark world. And these gems are the things that you're supposed to be collecting. They're up to like sometimes 700 gems, 800 gems in the world, so there's quite a lot of them to collect if you want to go for the perfect score. But you don't have to, you can just go straight to the exit if you want. That is a save point. And here's an example of a puzzle. I go to the light world, the door is locked. Go to the dark world, the door is open, things like that. Here's another example of a little puzzle. Can't get through here, so I'll do a little spin dash up here, and I can actually pick up these keys. And the spin dash can also hurt enemies like that. So collect all these keys and then I will hopefully unlock the door. Yep, there it is, unlocked. So yeah, and everything is quite smooth. When I do the spin dash, I can spin dash into enemies, destroy things in the level. There is nothing fundamentally wrong with this game. I mean, it's a decent looking game. Controls okay. I mean, I'm not a big fan of this spin move. It doesn't always do what you want. It's a one hit and you're dead game, by the way. So you do need to be careful at times. You can jump on enemies, you can spin dash into them. One thing I'm not a big fan of is things like this. So like I just did here, I walk through here and then boom, I hit a wall. So what do I have to do? Switch to the dark world and it opens. Well, that is one way of doing level design, but it's not really that interesting to kind of just be stopped and then be forced to switch over. You also sometimes will have thorns that you'll have to kind of move out the way by changing to the dark world and light world and stuff. That's quite cool. And sometimes you have to do those on the fly and time it correctly and stuff, which is quite fun and quite exciting. But unfortunately, a lot of the level design is kind of a little bit frustrating, and it kind of reminds me of some of the worst aspects of Sonic. I mean, this spin dash move kind of really does remind me of Sonic. Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm not a big fan of Sonic, and I don't like the kind of floaty and the kind of reliance on the kind of spin dash to kind of home in on enemies and stuff like that. I'm more of like, I like accurate platformers. Even the Donkey Kong Country games, which are a little bit heavier, even those feel a little bit tighter than this. But that's not to say that this is a bad game. I think there are a lot of things to like about it. And yeah, as I jump into another level here, I mean, the music is also kind of something that's kind of hit and miss, because like, I mean, it's obviously going for like a heavy metal kind of vibe to it, you know, with the whole dark world kind of aesthetic. But the music just ends up sounding not really heavy metal, but just more like kind of generic, you know, guitar kind of music, which, you know, it's not really that exciting. You know, here's another example of like, you know, level design. Yeah, there's lots of collectibles, which, you know, if you're a completionist, you're gonna love slash hate getting all these gems. I mean, like this, I'm having to flick between the dark world and then go into the light world to get all of them. So it might feel a little bit like Donkey Kong 64, you know, where you had to kind of switch out characters to get, you know, the different colored bananas, which is not something anyone should be reminded of in a game in 2018. If you get into it, there's a lot of content and there's a lot to like here. And obviously this is the Ultimate Edition. So yeah, if you're brand new to this game and you're into it, you might be able to get a lot out of this game. If you've already played this, I'm not sure. It depends on what's new. I'm not sure what is new to this Ultimate Edition. So yeah, I think I would put this above a Rayman game. I don't particularly like the super floatiness of Rayman. I think the controls are a little bit tighter than that. But obviously you can't compare this to like, you know, Donkey Kong Country Returns or a, you know, Mario game. It just feels a little bit generic, and the levels tend to end up feeling a little bit samey, despite, you know, the graphics being nice, you know, and everything. But it's just yeah, there's not as much variety between, especially within the one world, that all the levels end up looking very, very similar, which is surprising because, you know, you're constantly switching between two worlds, so you would think that there would be always a lot of variety. So nothing too negative to say about it, but also I'm not that charmed by it. So I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. And if you're a super fan of platformers, you might get some enjoyment out of it. But if not, you know, buyer beware. It might not be for you. Okay, so thank you for watching the video review of Giana Sisters, and keep it locked to the Famicast YouTube channel for more video reviews. We have tons of video reviews, so check them all out. And we're also a podcast on iTunes and Google Play, so give us a listen, talk about video games and Japan and lots of fun stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching. Until next time, peace out.